Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Artorigold, and today I wanted to try to do something a little bit different. I am going to be doing a playthrough of the story of Wargroove. Now, for those of you who enjoy the Advanced Wars content that I put out, I think you'll probably like Wargroove. It's a game pretty similar. It has a few different mechanics to it, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get into it, and we can talk more about the game. I haven't actually played this game since I think when it first came out. I was kind of obsessed with it for that time. We'll go ahead and just do the first mission. It's kind of quick, and we can go through the story mode together, and I think it's pretty fun. There's a few mechanics in here that makes the game a lot different, but ultimately the game's pretty similar. One of the things that I really want to do is maybe after my playthrough of this game, do some multiplayer content with it, and in the future maybe even make a LFG review video, something that I do on my other YouTube channel. If you haven't seen that, make sure to check out the LFG YouTube channel. I do like basically video game reviews of stuff, that type of content over there. So here you'll kind of see this is a fantasy setting, kind of similar to Advance Wars, except instead of tanks and infantry, you get infantry and archers and magic and dragons and kind of stuff that's all pretty fun. One of the other big elements, instead of a commander, you have kind of um, commanders on the ground, I guess is the best way to put it, right? So here we have Sigrid, cowards jumping at the shadows, dropping their guard. And you'll kind of see here as we get into the gameplay what I'm talking about. Getting to the king shouldn't be much of a challenge. That's the king, as we can see. He's alone in his chamber. And we have a bunch of units on the way there. The fewer guards are dispatched, the quicker this will be. Some unfortunate... yeah, we're going to kill some people here. So as you can see, this is kind of a tutorial level, so you're not going to see much action here. But it's pretty similar to Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem. But the big difference here is your commander, kind of like if Advanced Wars had a commander, the commander was an actual unit that you play as, and they can use their powers on the battlefield, which I thought was a really cool mechanic when it first came out. So it kind of combines a little bit of Fire Emblem, sort of. Kind of just you have a single hero unit that's on the battlefield, which is a lot of fun, and I really like that concept. It definitely makes multiplayer very different, meta-wise especially, because one of the big things in this game is your commander, if they die, essentially you lose the game. So if you're ever playing multiplayer, a lot of the games will revolve around just trying to focus and, kill the commander. Because once that happens, you automatically win, kind of similar to how you would capture an HQ. There's some really nice graphics to this game. I like the art style. I like the pixel. I like the battle animations are very unique for every commander, which I really like. And there are also a lot of different things that they have going on with the units themselves. We're probably not going to see that in this map, but later on, if I make some more videos for this game, we'll definitely see some more stuff. Depending on how short this is, I'll probably play the second map as well, because I'm pretty sure this is just a tutorial level. And we kind of get into the story a little bit, and the story basically starts off with you're playing as an enemy commander. Oh, they want you to kind of teach you the mechanics here. Oh yeah, so here's the overview screen. You can see the entire map. Tells you like, how much gold you have, how much income you have each turn, how many units you and your enemy have. And then of course you have the objective of the map right here. You have a great overview. This is actually a screen that I really like. This is really helpful information, especially in multiplayer, to just be able to go to the screen and see all of this. They also have something else that you can see with the units. I'm not sure if you can see it in the tutorial here. Save checkmate. Codex, I believe it is. Yeah, so here you have the codex, and if you were ever curious on like what any character did, whatever hero did, right? You can kind of sit here and you can look at all of them. You can also look at all of the units, which I think is kind of cool. You can look at all the different types of terrain. The codex is kind of a nice little thing. I believe there's actually oh yeah, you can go here and you can see what the units look like for the other factions. They all have kind of their own unique models, which is really cool. But we can, you know, we'll get into that a little bit later. That's something you see mostly in multiplayer. That's pretty nice because it's like, oh yeah, what unit is good against this type of unit, etc. You can always just kind of look at the codex, just to kind of refresh your memory on what unit is good against what. Sorry if I'm skipping through the story a little bit. Essentially, you're just trying to assassinate the king of this country. It's a very long story about something that happened a very long time ago. Oh, I accidentally misclicked there. Very long time ago, why can't the past stay the past? Oh, they attacked me anyways. It's pretty much impossible to lose this because they're all 1 HP. Misclicking is very deadly in these type of games. At last, how did you? Have a little bit of a cutscene here. Sigrid. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Humans are so frail. I believe she's a vampire. And her ears, at first, I thought she was supposed to be like a cat girl. But apparently they're actually supposed to be bat ears. Like a vampire bat. Which it took me forever before I even noticed that. You'll never have it. The key is in a safe, somewhere away from us. Apparently we're after a key. Before you die, nothing is safe for me. Hush now. Pretty brutal, starting off the game. I believe that this isn't, because we don't play as her. This is kind of just like a little bit of a story starter. Even though we play as her as the first mission, she's not like the main character or anything. It was a pretty simple match. We're going to go ahead and play the second one as well. Maybe we can see some actual action and story here. So here's kind of where the main story actually starts. We get introduced to our main characters. Emmerich is really cool. I like him a lot. And then you get 2 other characters here. So the princess is the main character. She's Mercia. We kind of get a little bit into drama here because I believe she just kind of finds out that the king, her father, dies. Disturb the princess's lessons. King has been killed.
No.
Yeah, little unfortunate. Nobody likes to hear that. It's bad news. The assailant appears to have been a vampire. The Felheim Legion. So we have to defend the kingdom. It's an act of war, essentially. Caesar is also really cool. I think he's really OP in multiplayer, actually. People found out some really crazy strategies that you can do with him, with his power. Because his power is kind of like Eagle. So here we'll go ahead and just get into the next mission as well. We are unsure. We face our first test. I actually like her with the crown a lot. I think she looks way cooler with a crown. So we got a little bit of a time skip here. She's now a queen. She doubts herself. Emmerich, of course, is a big bro. Reassures that we are capable. And now we are getting attacked by Felheim, which is the blue moon, I suppose. We are the orange star of this game, and they are the blue moon. Fortunately, she leaves that crown behind, which was a little unfortunate. But luckily we have him, and he'll help out. Just kind of hilarious. So as you can see, the enemies are pretty cool. I actually love playing as them in multiplayer. They have skeleton warriors, and we have, you know, like infantry, and their infantry units are basically like zombie skeletons, and I love it. I think it's a really cool theme to the entire country, which is one of the reasons when I play multiplayer, I always play their heroes. I forget the name of the hero I always play, but I always played the Necromancer. That was one of my favorite ones. So here you can see we get into a little bit of an action. You have the defense, just like if you're in Advanced Wars or anything, you know, you have your plains, you get +1 armor or shield, you have your mountains, your forest. The terrain kind of acts as defense bonuses for everything.
Yeah.
And you also get to see the stats of the attack.
Very well.
So now you get to see our infantry finish this guy off because he's nice and weak. Oh yeah, if the damage preview doesn't have the enemy arrow, it's like a free hit. Yeah, more health of a unit, the stronger they are. The weaker they are, less health, weaker attacks. Nothing too crazy there to understand the game. Which is why, if you have a low health unit, you could probably retreat and repair them back at the towns. But I don't think we get to that point yet. But we are seeing our first new unit besides the infantry, which is a pikeman, I believe they're called. Which are very strong. Yeah, pikemen. So they do critical hit damage. I believe they do critical hits when they're next to each other. Which is really cool about Wargroove. There's some cool mechanics like that, where there's special conditions that you can meet with certain units, and they do a lot more damage and stuff like that. Like some creatures do more damage if they're in the mountains. These creatures, pikemen, do crits essentially. I believe they need to be right next to each other. I was telling me to right click. Oh yeah, here's the codex information that we wanted to see. This is what I was thinking of when I was clicking on it earlier. So you get to see their movement. They're slower, more powerful infantry, and they critical hit when they're adjacent to another spearman. And I believe it shows... Oh, I have to go through the text here. They're going to basically say what I just said. So yeah, this is the info screen. It's not the... here's the codex. It wasn't here last mission. But here it shows you the damage matrix. So here you're able to see just how effective the unit is against other things. As you can see, they don't do anything against air units because they can't attack them. And kind of like, you know, how if they're really good against other infantry, for example. Or whatever these are. I'm not sure what they... the archers? No, those aren't archers. I forget what those are. It's kind of hard to make out what all of the units are. I feel like it would be easier if I could scroll over it and it says what it is. Yeah, it's a marksman. It's not an archer. This is one of the newer units, I believe. I believe they use like guns or something. I actually haven't played any of that stuff in Wargroove, so that's kind of new to me. I know a little bit about them. I believe there's rogues and stuff like that. So yeah, if you move them right here, right, you set yourself up for a critical hit by being adjacent with them, which is pretty great. You do 120% damage. Oh, I want to cancel. I can't cancel. I wanted to cancel to show you the damage difference of it. Just so you can see just how much stronger it is when you do a critical hit. But you can imagine it's not going to fully one-shot this unit if you don't crit. So pikemen are very, very good in Wargroove. I remember them being like extremely OP actually. Yeah. Like you could spam them and kind of win the game. Of course, that's not the case in multiplayer. Multiplayer was a very different kind of game, but new objective. So we're going to go ahead and attack on the plains instead of the road because that gives you +1 compared to the... so you get +0 on the road, +1 on the grass. I don't know how grass gives you +1, but it does. And then we'll attack with our weaker unit to finish this guy off. And then we're going to go ahead and end our turn. And our critical attack with the pikemen here. Oh yeah, maybe I could, well this is setting myself up for the crit, right? But if I do this, you'll see I do 60% damage. But if I move here and attack, it's 90%. So you can see there is a huge damage buff from these crits. You always want to try to go for it. It's generally, like, always worth it. Of course, the biggest weakness of pikemen are their slow movement speed. So they're kind of like mech units from Advanced Wars, really. Well done! A good start, but they won't stop. We must remain vigilant. Yes. There will be back, and in greater numbers, a horde of skeletons. Forgotten you had so little experience with the undead. Undead are pretty cool. That's the one thing that I like about this game, and I kind of wish that there was a sequel. Because I think that this game has a lot of potential. Yes. Like, in a fantasy setting, there's so much you can do. There's so much potential with a fantasy setting because you have magic. And also, of course, with the hero system that they have here, there's also a lot of potential for new heroes and new hero abilities. Well, anyways, that is probably going to be it for this video. It was just a quick one, kind of just like an intro into the series. Hopefully I can put out a little bit more of Wargroove playthroughs in here, and we'll see a lot more of the game. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.